Oh, so you thought you were here to watch some Apex clips? Nah, you're here to find out how to make them. Stay tuned. Welcome everybody. I am Black Ghost. What you're here to find out is how to get high quality clips while streaming, all on one rig. Simple thing is, let's go through like system requirements here. One, you want to make you have a fast enough hard drive because you will be writing data to your hard drive, not to Twitch. Don't get me wrong, Twitch is getting signal, but you're writing directly to hard drive to get these said clips. Two, you definitely want to make you got enough RAM, preferably 32 gigs. I mean, you could go higher, overkill. 16th pushing it, but it's still doable. Once we finally got through your system requirements, now we're gonna move on to its settings. We're going to file on OBS. I mean, this also works on Streamlabs as well. And sure make that you have automatically start replay buffer when streaming. This is a huge necessity. Can't stress this enough. Why? Because most people tend to, they forget to even turn things on when starting a stream, or you know, you're kind of like in a rush and you want to get into the game and get started. This will, like, the replay will start while you're streaming, so you won't pretty much start and forget it kind of deal. Once you're done here, we're going to switch to output. We're going to set up your recording settings. Yes, recording settings have to be set up. Usually when people come in here, they tend to ignore it because they don't think they need it, but it's, trust me, you're gonna need it. Normally this setting is usually set to, I think encoder is normally set to, yeah, there it is. Use stream encoder. This is normally how everything would look, but this is not what we're gonna do. We're gonna dig a little deeper. We're gonna set this to NVIG new. We're gonna turn out, like normally the rate control is set to VBR. You're gonna set it to CQP. You want to try to get the highest quality you can get out of this. This will just make everything super simplistic. Now, based on the type of hard drive you have, whether if it's a mechanical, SSD, an M.2, will determine on what your CQ level would be. Now, normally for mechanical drives, I'd probably recommend, let's say, the ballpark of like 20. 20 is not like pristine quality, but it's enough to deal with the hard drive. Remember, you have to have a fast enough hard drive in order to write what's going to be written. Because I've tried it before. I tried to write to a mechanical at like 15, 16, and it started skipping all over the place. We do not want that. We want this to be flawless as possible. So, on a mechanical, like I said, I recommend 20. On an SSD to an M.2, you can bring it all the way down to 16, 15. Hell, you might even get it to 1. But we don't really want to go that far. It's a little obnoxious because then it becomes a placebo. You're not really doing anything. You're not increasing quality. It's just kind of just there. Moving on. Your key frame intervals, I want it to be a 2. For RTX cards, I highly recommend max quality, high profile, look ahead, and cycle visual tuning. But for GTXs, I would set this to quality, high, disable, look ahead, and cycle visual tuning. Some people will tell you use cycle visual tuning, but just keep in mind, it does use extra. Or you can disable these two and enable max quality and still typically get away with murder. These settings also apply across Streamlabs as well as OBS. Now, you're gonna go to your replay buffer. It should be enabled, but if it's not enabled, enable it. Then you'll have these extra set of settings. You can set this replay buffer to how long you want. But again, this also depends on how much RAM you have, because it will consume. So, normally I set it at 30 seconds. 30 seconds is usually enough because I remember to hit the click the button. But you can set it up to 60 seconds. And that way you got a whole buffer to deal with when in editing. So this way, you know, you screw up, you forget to press it, you still catch that moment, the highlight moment that you really wanted in that clip. You just gotta go in there and chop it up and edit it, and you're all good to go. Now, the maximum memory consumption, I have mine set to a gig. Normally my clips average about 300 to 400 megs. Which is fine. This is way more than enough room to deal with anything. This could work on 16 gigs of RAM as well as 32 gigs. Once all that's done, hit the apply button. Then we're gonna move on to video. I know like everybody's waiting for this part. Your base canvas is based on your screen, whether that could be from a 2K to a 4K monitor or a 1080p like I got. I normally just do 1080p. There's no extras, no ifs, ands, and buts. Output scale, 1080p. Downscale filter. We figured out that Lanczos happens to produce the best quality. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can go down to bilinear, but usually for like a pixel nit like me, you can see there's like a little bit of blurring. It's very, you know, you don't really notice that much for the normal person. But for somebody that's really sitting there eyeballing the video, they'll see it. Obviously 60 frames a second. Gotta have it. Let's see, what else are we missing here? Keys. Hotkey, definitely a necessity for this part. You want to make you save a hotkey, even if the hotkey doesn't exist. But you could do anything that you're not normally using. Like normally mine would be star. In this matter, it's F13. F13 doesn't exist on a keyboard, but program-wise, back in the day, there used to be a lot more keys. So I used F13. The way how this works is, for those that have a Stream Deck, this is where it comes in handy. Let's get this up real quick. If you have a said Stream Deck, let's see, this would be under your hotkeys, right? So you go to System, grab a hotkey, pull it up. We're gonna scroll down to F keys. F13. Boom. Just created an F13 that typically doesn't really exist on said keyboard. Now it exists. So let's backspace. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. We'll clear this. And then press F13 on your Stream Deck. Boom. F13 is now enabled. So whenever you capture those said moments, just press like label it whatever you want, save, replay, so on and so forth. It'll do exactly what you wanted it to do. Save the replay. This could work on Stream Deck, Touch Portal, any of the other mobile apps if these hotkeys are set up correctly. Again, this also works across Streamlabs as well as OBS. So there's no, oh, but I don't have this setting in OBS. Oh, I don't have this setting in Streamlabs. It works. All right, I've done it on both. Usually, you end up with a library like so. All of these clips are all done from stream, like while streaming. I mean, disregard that. Don't get me wrong. This is on separate tracks, and that's another thing I'm not gonna forget to cover. Having multiple audio tracks is a necessity. Most people don't think this because they're just streaming. When you're streaming, you're outputting on one channel. There's 5 to 6 channels. I mean, there is some plugins on OBS that enables you to get way more than that, but you really don't need all of that. We need to take care of that right now. So, back here on OBS, right click, does not matter, anywhere on the mixer to advanced audio properties. And see you have multiple tracks. Again, one track is being outputted to Twitch. Twitch doesn't know anything about track 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So, what I did was, I separate for separate tracks for editing. I have everything on track 1. Track 2 is my mic. Track 3 is my desktop. And then track 4 happens to be Discord. So that, you know, you get those typical moments where your friends are trash talking in the background and you really don't want them to be heard on your clips, or the fact that your cat happens to be meowing, like a friend of mine's. Yes, actually, we're talking about you. And you don't want it heard. You can easily just deafen your mic in editing, or act like as if your friends didn't even exist. It works out. It's great. Also, you can add some little effects to that down the line. We'll talk about that in a later video. So once all is said and done, what else are we possibly missing here? Let's pause that. Before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section down below. Catch you guys later.